Hi again, this is Professor Innes, and as I can see here, you're about to start your second module, and this is on the Brechtian method. You've just done the Socratic method, and with the Socratic method, as you've learned, this is about philosophical answering of questions. We don't come up with any answers, we ask questions, and as we're going to relate to the Socratic method, sometimes these questions are disturbing, they're disrupting, in the sense that you're asked a question from somebody about something you presume to be true, but after asking those questions it becomes apparent that maybe it's not true. So in the sense that, as I often pick upon, Boise State University football team. Maybe they're not the best football team in the world. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say, but after asking a few of the questions about statistics and players and so forth, you might come up with the conclusion that Boise State football team are not the best in the world. Now, to do that would be shocking, and as we found out with Socrates, it could get you into a lot of trouble. In South Park, people have actually made threats against their lives for putting forward these cartoons and asking these rather shocking questions. So in that way, what we have with the Socratic method is asking those questions. With the Brechtian method, we have the same principle here. We're going to ask these questions, and we're going to do it in a shocking way. The belief with the Brechtian method is that by shocking people, you get people to think. If you don't shock them, then, well, what was the point? What was the point of this exercise? Even in entertainment, one has the idea that, maybe we should shock people. The producers of South Park have that view that you've got to shock people to get them to think, even with the most disturbing images put forward. We have the view that was done with the attempt to actually get people to think about these questions. So with South Park, we've got the language and the images put forward. And again, some of them are shocking. Sometimes you might not even want to watch the full episode. That's totally understandable because it's too shocking. But the point is to get the person to think. So even if it's about religious extremism, puts forward these images, as you're going to find within the religious sections of this course, to the point whereby you're going to be shocked and you're going to have to think about this afterwards. You have to think about what's been said. So with the Brechtian method, you're going to go through these videos here, these video presentations. There are 3 in total, very useful. Of course, there's no mention of South Park. Bertolt Brecht and South Park did not exist at the same time, but it's the method we're taking here. And with this method of with the Brechtian method, you're going to use that again, as with the Socratic method, to go through the South Park episode. So keep that in mind when you're watching, even though obviously there's no mention of Brecht, and some of the discussions put forward are to do with the theatre. South Park is a theatre as well. It's the same principle here. So relate it as you go along. You would have watched quite a few cartoons, South Park cartoons by then. So you could relate them as you're watching these 3 videos, 10 minutes each, on Bertolt Brecht. So relate that, therefore relate the Brechtian analysis to the cartoons as soon as possible, because again, with the Socratic method, you're going to be using this through the whole course. It's going to give you a framework, it's going to give you a method. And as we said at the beginning of this course, we're not simply watching cartoons, we're watching cartoons in the view of what messages they're putting forward, particularly philosophical methods. Philosophical questions. What questions are they putting forward, and particularly with the philosophical questions, which do relate to social considerations, as well as with our view of communicating particular considerations. So in that way, therefore, These videos are of great use, so make sure you go through these. You've got the homework questions to do as usual, and be careful of these journal entries. I've noticed that over half of you have not put forward your journal entry. That should have been done by now, and I have made replies to those who have made the journal entries. Don't make the mistake of thinking that just because it's worth 10 points that it's not worth doing. These 10 points add up, and I often have the case with one or two students, or more than one or two students, who get to the end of the course and they say, why didn't I get above a grade C? And I say, because you didn't do the work. And I think just because they missed out one or two assignments worth 10 points, that that would make no effect on their grade. But they do add up, and often you miss out more than one or two. So do all of them, please. Every bit of work that you can do here, do them all, because that will guarantee your grade. Once you start missing a few bits here and there, you know what happens. You miss that grade. Okay, so make sure you do a journal entry. You've got your blog to do, and that's going to be read by others, as well as the preparation for your critical essay and the preparation for the exam. Plenty of time for all of these pieces of work, so no need to panic about anything. Right, so keep up with that work, please. So, just to recap, you've got the Brechtian method to study and apply to the cartoons. Again, it's to do with shocking the audience to get them to think about what you're talking. So if it's about extremism, right, you provide these extreme images and extreme language to get people to think. Even bad language, as we're going to discuss later on in the course here, is used with that viewpoint of getting people to think. Alright, so I think that will do us for our discussion on the Brechtian method. And again, with that, please keep an eye on the work here. Do the work as it's given to you. Don't miss out pieces of work because it's not worth much. Or you think, what's the point of this bit? I don't put forward pieces of work here which are not necessary. It's enforced reading, so therefore there are questions on the reading, and you need to discuss the matters with other people in the course. So do this work. They all have a purpose. Right, okay. Any questions, please let me know, and I'll be talking to you online, namely through your journal entries. And let me know if these journal replies I give you are of use. They're supposed to reply to what you've said, either indicate to you that you're doing well or something could be improved. Let me know if they're serving that purpose, because they're supposed to be a talk between me and you on the matters we're discussing, and this one's going to be on the Brechtian method. The previous one was on the Socratic method. So let me know if these journal entries are helping you. Okay. Alright, with that, I'll speak to you online, and enjoy this discussion on the Brechtian method. Till later, bye-bye.